At this point in our mathematics, we want to look at how to convert word into mathematical expression. Don't forget that we studied how to put algebraic expressions in their addition, their subtraction, their multiplications and division. Now, in this part of our course, we are going to convert word into mathematics. It means that from this beginning, we are going to first of all look at all the different names given to the operational signs in mathematics, starting with the operational sign addition. Now, addition can be referred to in so many ways when it comes to mathematical expression. One popular name that we can give addition is the word add. So immediately a question has add or a statement comes with add, it means that we will introduce the addition sign. For example, add a number to 2. For the meantime, we are going to represent any unknown number with a variable, as we saw in algebraic expression. A number that you don't know the value can be represented with any letter or any alphabet, popularly referred to as variable. So when I say add a certain number to 2, the certain number will be represented by x. So we will add x to 2. So add a certain number to 2 can then be written in mathematical form as x plus 2. So this means that add is another word for addition. Let us look at the word more than. Another word is more than. So this particular word also means add. If we take an example like 7 more than a number, 7 more than a number, we can write this particular statement as 7 plus x, where x represents the number we are talking about in the question. So 7 as the number 7, more than as the additional operation sign, and then the number is x, which is unknown. So 7 plus x then becomes 7 more than a number, where more than represents our addition sign. Let's take a look at more names that can be used to refer to the addition sign. Another word that still qualifies the word addition, or another word that is similar to the word addition, is the word summation or sum. So this is the word summation, or we can say sum. This is very obvious. Let's take an example as the sum of 10 and a certain number. I repeat, the sum of 10 and a certain number. If you really heard the word sum, it comes from the word summation, which also means addition. So when I say the sum of 10 and a certain number, we will let that certain number be x, represented with a variable. So the sum of 10 and a certain number will bring 10. Because of the word sum, it represents addition, and then let the number be x. So 10 plus x will then be the expression for the word, the sum of 10 and a certain number. Let us take a look at the last word that can be the same as an addition sign. Another word, which will be my last word, is total. The word is total. Total is a very popular word that deals with the addition sign. So I am then going to say total is the same as adding. So let's take an example like find the total of 4 numbers. Find the total of 4 numbers. Now in this instance, we don't know the 4 numbers. So let's, for example, put variables to represent each of the numbers. So let the numbers be x, a, y, and z. So these are the 4 numbers. So when we want to find the total of these 4 numbers, where we've learned that total also means addition, it means we have to add all these 4 numbers. So it will become x plus a plus y plus z. So with this, we have then converted the word into a mathematical expression. Please remember that we can't get a simple form of x plus a plus y plus z because they are all variables and they are not like terms. If variables are not like terms, it will not be able to add. So the expression will remain as we have here on the board. Thank you very much. Let's now take a look at the subtraction sign. Now, the subtraction sign is a sign that is also very popular when it comes to mathematical expressions. Let's take synonyms or other words that still mean the same as the subtraction sign. That is to say, other words that have the same meaning as subtraction. So assign the word subtract, which is from subtraction. Also, we have another word like difference, which is also subtraction. We have a word less than, which is also subtraction. And let me add this to it. Subtract from. So these four words, and then the last one will be a phrase for that matter. All these qualify the subtraction sign, so they all mean subtraction. Let us take an example with the first one. Subtract 2 and a number. Subtract 2 and a number. This statement means that I want to subtract 2 and a number. Remember, in this case, we are not subtracting from, we are just subtracting. So the real number 2, subtract 2 and a number minus, let the number be represented with the variable x. So subtract 2 and a number. We'll have the mathematical form as 2 minus x. Subtract 2 and a number. Let us look at difference. Now, the difference of 5 and a certain number. The difference of 5 and a certain number. Since the word difference also means subtraction, we are going to subtract the two numbers that we just mentioned. So I have 5 as my real number and a certain number. So the difference of 5 and a certain number. Please let me clarify this. You cannot interchange the position and then still use the subtraction sign. What am I trying to say? You cannot say that this is the same as x minus 2. It will be wrong. Instead, you can use the expression minus x plus 2. This is the right one. So please don't interchange the numbers with the subtraction sign. Rather, when you are interchanging, make sure that the operational sign in front of them moves with the number. Let us take a look at the word less than, or let me say a phrase less than. Now, if you don't take care, you will mistake this less than for the sign less than. Please, in this situation, less than means subtraction. Let me give you an example. A certain number less than 7. A certain number less than 7. As rightly said, let that number be a variable x. So when you say a certain number, so let a certain number be x. And then we have 7. Please be very mindful of the way you subtract the two numbers. If you say x minus 7, it will be wrong. So x minus 7 will be wrong. Why? You are talking about the certain number less than 7. Meaning in actual explanation or literally, you realize that x rather is less than 7. So when we are subtracting, the bigger value must be first. So from the statement, the bigger value will be 7 because x is less than 7 or x less than 7. Which simply means that 7 is rather greater than the x. So the right way to subtract will be 7 minus x. So please don't forget, under the less than, just interchange the position of the values in the word statement or the word problem or the story that they just read. So let me give you another example. 20 less than a number. 20 less than a number. I have mentioned two different numbers here. I mentioned the real number 20 and I mentioned the unknown number. So 20 less than a number. Let the unknown number be x. Now please understand it well. 20 less than the number, meaning that 20 is actually less than x, where it also means that x is rather greater than the 20. So in subtracting, using less than as our subtraction sign, the values has to interchange, or the values have to interchange. So it will become x minus 20. The big number x minus the less number 20. So this will be the expression for 20 less than a number. Thank you. Now let's take the last but not the least, which is subtract from. Anytime I teach my student, I get questions from students that say, please, what's the difference between subtract and subtract from? And my answer is simple. Subtract is just a single word, and subtract from becomes a phrase, which means we need to subtract from. That is, the number goes to do the subtraction, or the number we are talking about, or the number in question goes to do the action. So let's take an example. Subtract 5 from a number. Subtract 5 from a number. So I'm talking about 5 as a real number and an unknown number, or the number as x. So I'm representing x for the number. So subtract 5 from a number. That means I'm going to subtract this 5 from the number. Basically, the subtraction sign will rather affect the 5. So the final expression will be x minus 5. So indeed, I have subtracted 5 from the number. So if you think about this well, it is the same as the less than, meaning that once you put your two values down, you will interchange the position of the values before you subtract. So please take note of that. And subtraction is one deceptive sign. If you don't take your time, you will get the expression wrong. So please take your time, understand it well before you convert the word into mathematics. Let us now take examples on other operational signs like multiplication. Now let us take a look at the multiplication sign. With the multiplication sign, so far as mathematics is concerned, we can have so many words that can still mean the same as multiplication. But we will limit the words to some few. In subsequent videos, we will explain more, and then you understand. Now, we want to talk about the words. The first word will be obviously multiply by. This word is very common when it comes to multiplication. It still means multiplication. Another word will be product. Another word will be of. Another word will be times, a very popular word. Now, there are so many words like dot and co. But then for now, let us limit ourselves to these words. Anytime we come across a new word, I will explain it in the video before we continue. So when we say multiply 2 by a number, if 2 is the real number, and let the number be x. So multiply 2 by a number, it will be 2 multiplied by x, which will result into 2x. So it means that for the multiplication, the least said about it, the better, because everybody can understand when it comes to multiplication. So the product of two different numbers, let the two numbers be x and y. So the product of x and y will be x times y, which is xy. We can also talk about of, and then the times itself as all multiplication signs. So in questions, we will explain more when we are dealing with the questions. Thank you very much. Our final operational sign in this particular segment will be the division sign. We will take a look at more operational signs in subsequent videos, but in this part, let us finish with the division sign. Now, the division sign also has several names that still has the same meaning as the division sign. So let's take a look at the popular ones. We talk about divide by. Divide by, this word is very popular. It still means division. Then we talk about a word like ratio. Ratio is very popular too, which also means division. The word pair, which is like a symbol, pair. So pair also means division. Now, among these words, we can form example. Let me take divide by. So when I say divide 8 by a certain number, so you want to divide 8 by a certain number. Now, 8 is the real number I spoke about in the statement, and x will be the unknown number. So let the certain number be x. So divide 8 by a certain number will be 8 divided by x. Or you can also write that as 8 divided by x. So these are the two mathematical statements which represent the word divide 8 by a certain number. Let us take a look at ratio. An example for the ratio will be the ratio of 2 and a number. The ratio of 2 and a number. So I talk about 2 and I talk about a number. 2 is the real number. Let x be the number. So if you say ratio, then it will be 2 divided by x, which is to say ratio has a symbol. So even before I bring the division, let us put the ratio symbol. This is the ratio symbol. So this will be converted into 2 divided by x, which can finally be 2 divided by x. So this represents the ratio. So ratio finally also means division. The same thing to the pair. Pair also means division, which means over. So when I say x divided by, let's say 5, means x over 5 or x per 5. So these are the various words in word problem. So we are going to use them to form questions and express them in mathematical form. Thank you. We want to look at examples under expressing word into mathematical forms or conversion or converting of words into mathematical form. In this question, it says twice a certain number minus 4. Let us look at the words one after the other. Twice means 2 times. A certain number, we don't know the number. So as usual, let us represent that number with a variable. So let the number be equal to x. So x represents the number. Don't forget, in mathematics, any number you don't have the value or you don't know the value becomes a variable. So you can represent the variable with an alphabet or any symbol. Good. So my number is x. So look at this again. Twice, which means 2 times a certain number. So 2 times a certain number. Minus is a word for subtraction. We talked about subtraction words. Minus is also part. So minus 4. So it becomes twice a certain number. That is 2 times x, which is 2x. 2 times x is 2x minus 4. So minus the number 4. So 2x minus 4 becomes the mathematical expression for twice a certain number minus 4. Thank you. Our second question reads, when 10 is added to a certain number and the result is multiplied by 2, write down the expression. Now, if you check the question, they are not asking us to find anything, but rather they are asking us to write down the expression which will represent this word written on the board. Let us go through it one after the other by choosing carefully the words. When 10 is a real number, so everybody knows what 10 is. When 10 is added to a certain number, if you check, added to means addition. And then let the number be equal to x. So x will be the number. So it goes back to say when 10 is added to a certain number. So when 10 is added to x, it will be this way. X plus 10. You can also say 10 plus x, which is also accepted. Since with the addition, we can interchange the position of the numbers. It will still give you the same value. This is what we call the commutative property of addition and multiplication. But this time around is addition. Let's continue. So when 10 is added to a certain number, we will get the expression as 10 or x plus 10. Now it goes on to say, and the result is multiplied by 2. Let me clarify something here. Result shows what you had after adding 10 and the number. And we had x plus 10. In algebra, we all know that x is a variable and 10 is a real number. They can't be added. If you say x plus 10, the answer will still be x plus 10 because they are not like terms. This is a variable and this is a real number. So this indeed is the result. Now this result is multiplied by 2. So meaning x plus 10 with a bracket multiplied by 2. Now the best way to use the multiplication sign will be the bracket. So let's expand. It becomes 2 times x, which is 2x. Now 2 times 10 will give us 20, so plus 20. So finally, the expression that we are looking for will be 2x plus 20. Thank you very much. Question number 3. It reads, a number is subtracted from 11. The result is doubled. The final result is divided by 3. Write down the final expression. It is very clear here. Let us take it one after the other and convert all the various words into mathematics. Now, it says that a number is subtracted from 11. From the beginning, the number is not given. So let the number be x. So let the number let the number be equal to x. So it means that we are all representing the unknown number with the variable x. So we continue. So that means x is subtracted from 11. Don't forget how subtraction is used with subtracted from. So it will be 11 as the real number minus x. This is how the expression will be. You change the position. The number came first from the word or from the sentence, which is x, and 11 came second. So rather be the second minus the first. 11 minus x. Continue. The result is double. So you have to identify the result first. 11 minus x is the result because they are not like terms. So 11 minus x remains as 11 minus x. So we will double this. Now the word double is a new word. Let us get the meaning. Double means multiplying by 2. So still we have to multiply this by 2, meaning double. So 2 multiplying 11 minus x. That is the best way to multiply, keeping them in bracket. Now let's expand. 2 times 11 becomes 22. 2 times minus x becomes minus 2x. So we are getting the results, which may be our final one, as 22 minus 2x. So it says that final result is divided by 3. The final result is divided by 3. So since this becomes my final result, I will divide it by 3. This is the meaning. 22 minus x will be divided by 3. So I can choose to divide them separately or leave it this way. This is better. So the final expression where the question is demanding for will be 22 minus x, all divided by 3. Thank you very much. Question number 4. It reads 5 less than a number is multiplied by 2. The result is divided by 7. Write down the final expression. Let me just get a division that we solve here. From the question, we have to convert the words into maths. So 5 is a real number. Less than. Don't forget, from the words we saw, less than was part of the subtraction. So less than represents subtraction sign. But take your time, because the positioning will change. A number. So the first attempt will be, let us give a variable to our number. Obviously, let x be the number. So let the number be equal to x. Now that we have the number, it says 5 less than the number, meaning 5 less than the number. The number is more, 5 is less. With a subtraction, it will be more minus less. Which one is the more? The second number. So second minus first, becoming x minus 5. If we do it, 5 minus x will be wrong because the statement with less than, we will interchange and subtract. Continue. It's multiplied by 2. It's multiplied by 2. What is multiplied by 2? 5 less than the number, which is x minus 5, is multiplied by 2. So everything here times 2, multiplied by 2. 2 into bracket x minus 5. So let's multiply. 2 times x will be 2x. 2 times minus 5 will be minus 10. Now we have it's multiplied by 2, becoming 2x minus 10. Continue. Now it says that the result is divided by 7. This is the result. So it is divided by 7. It will become 2x minus 10 divided by 7. So finally, the expression will be 2x minus 10 all over 7. This will be my final expression for this particular word. Thank you very much. The question here becomes our final question. Most of the question I solved, or all the question I solved, didn't have the equal sign, meaning that I'm just looking at the algebra part without equal sign, or the algebraic expression. In subsequent videos, we will be looking at these same questions with the equal sign, where we would have to solve to get the variable in the question. So let's proceed. It says, what is the result of the product of 21 and x added to twice of 6? Now let me get a space. Let's calm down and understand the question, or understand the word. What is the result? Meaning we are looking for the answer of the product. Now look at this, product of 21 and x. Product means multiplication. So 21 times x will give us 21x. So the product of 21 and x is 21x. Let's go ahead. It says added to. That means we are going to add this answer to something. And what is that? Twice of 6. So twice of 6 means 2 times 6. Twice of 6. And twice of 6 is 12. So the product of 21 and x is 21x. And twice of 6 is what? 12. So we will add the two products. So add the first one and the second one. It will become 21x plus 12. And you all know that these are not like terms. There is a variable attached to 21, no variable. So 21x plus 12 will become 21x plus 12 since they are not like terms. So ladies and gentlemen, lovely people, this will become the final answer for this.